Welcome to the AERO People podcast. Today we record in Monaco, and with me is Jorge Colindres, one of the godfathers of business aviation, and especially when it comes to offshore aircraft registration, that is his brainchild. So when Jorge has something to say, we should better listen because we all could learn something. I've asked Jorge because we are working now since a few years together with his whole family. If he would join the podcast and tell us a bit of his amazing life story, because Jorge, you came to the US as an immigrant
Yes,
and you have built an empire, and just you doing well, I guess.
you can say that. Yes, I think so. I think the family is doing fantastic. I'm thankful for the opportunity, that I had when I came to the U.S. as an immigrant, and it's definitely changed my life.
That's for sure.
It's something that my mentor in aviation, that at that time was the largest aircraft broker in the world
Hmm.
for many, many years, gave me an important lessons. And he told me, whatever opportunities I'm giving to you, you have to promise me something. And that is, whatever you learn, give it back. So that's been basically my motto, that I always, whatever I achieve, I try to pass it on to new generations.
Hmm.
That's why we created this amazing product, amazing family business. And we do not operate as a company per se, we operate as a family.
Hmm.
Our clients becomes our family. Our client become an integrated part of the industry that we like to help and serve, because we're not in the business of aircraft registration. We were in the business of creating experience.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, anybody can register an airplane and certify an airplane, but it's the experience that you create with the client, with the end user, that really makes a difference.
The relationships and everything. True.
Absolutely.
It's
It's all
not an
relationship.
authority that
Um,
you're running. It's not an authority that you're running.
Definitely not. No, no, no. We run alternatives customized to the client.
Mhm.
We do customized solution. Whatever idea you may have, bring it to us. If it is within the framework of safety, civil aviation, we will implement it. And we have created mostly a lot of the trends now in civil aviation, especially on business aircraft. We created the launch of the first offshore AOCs, which nobody has ever done.
Yeah, exactly.
So we did that, and in improvement, extremely successful.
So how did you have the idea to go? Because you were based in the US, right?
Yes.
So how do you get to the idea that you registered an aircraft on an island that had basically nothing to do with aviation before?
It's something not by coincidence for sure. I used to be a naval officer, and during my Navy career, I was in charge of the Merchant Marine,
Hmm.
and I was managing 3,000 ships all over the world. So then I was deployed at the embassy in Washington, and I met this person, and he told me if I wanted to learn aviation. Say, Navy aviation, I know about ships. I don't know anything about airplanes. Says, I'll teach you. So to make the story short, um, he taught me. He gave me the opportunity, and then I slowly start thinking, nobody does private aircraft registration, in an innovative way. And I look at the venue. This is in the early 90s, and I saw Bermuda and Cayman, and they were the only ones doing it, but as a government entities.
Hmm.
So I struck a contract with the government of Aruba in 1995. Well, initially, we did some contracting with the United Nations before Aruba, and that developed the business on aviation. And then I struck a contract with the government of Aruba on exclusive basis to manage the Civil Aviation Authority on a privately managed basis. That gave birth to a lot of new ideas and a lot of new innovative, to the point that we created the ABCs. What were the ABCs? Normally in tourism means Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, which are Dutch Kingdom country islands.
Hmm.
But we created the ABC in aviation. What was the ABC in aviation? It was Aruba, Bermuda, and the Cayman.
Yeah.
So we were the kings of that era, launching innovative ideas on private business aviation. and that was basically the birth of everything that we have ever done.
Yeah.
To the point that we have developed San Marino. Now is our 12th year. Has become the largest offshore aircraft registry in the world.
Who would have
Again,
thought, huh?
it's something when you do things right. You know, you have a higher degree of the business materializing.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, we know what we're doing. We know what we want. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. It's been 32 years in this business, and we have seen everything coming and going. So we know when we look at a venue, we know we can make it work. Uh, that having said that, you need the help of the local governments.
Of
If
course.
the
Yeah.
local governments are not receptive, nothing's going to work. Important point, Stefan, is you need jurisdiction that is credible. You need a jurisdiction that has laws. You
Mm,
have a jurisdiction that is adaptable to changes.
yeah.
Because you come into countries, like you said, there is nothing common on aviation in this country. So you have to really develop the industry, train the lawyers, train the accountants, train the local civil aviation people, set up the system. So that takes a lot of time, but we know what to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Of
so
course.
so that's why we've been extremely successful. And something really important that you need to understand now is when you look at trend on civil aviation, if you look especially San Marino, now the OEMs are telling us that San Marino registered airplane, when they are sold or trade or deregistered, they are being sold with a premium. We're
Really?
probably one of the highest countries that the OEM has, tracked that our planes coming from our registries are really high in premiums. So that's something that we are really proud because it shows that the product we develop it works
It has a
and
certain
it's well
standard, yeah.
received.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's the industry standard, if everyone else is behind you, well done, well done in just 12 years. I mean,
Yeah.
with the previous experience that you brought to the table, but it's something to be very, very proud of.
Absolutely, and and it's something that we want to keep it this way.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's our family name.
Yeah.
As I told you, we operate as a family,
Mm.
and
But
as a family,
not literally, but you are. It's your son who's running San Marino.
yes, that's correct. And now we are going to replicate our third registry. We already signed a new contract with the government of Gibraltar.
So you can announce that already.
We can announce it. It's signed for 20 years exclusive. Now we are in the final stages of qualifying who's going to be the new CEO, polishing the system, the setup.
Well, you have a few more kids in spare, or?
Yeah, we do, and we may have one more coming, but that's going to be after we develop Gibraltar.
Okay.
So
You mean registry?
registry, yes.
Not kids.
Not kids. No, kids. I had enough. With 5 kids, it's plenty.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah.
I can
No,
imagine.
now I'm enjoying the grandkids. So we are really looking forward developing Gibraltar. I think it's going to be a fantastic venue. The UK Department for Transportation is extremely excited. The
Mhm.
government of Gibraltar is excited. The citizens of Gibraltar are excited.
Well, you have a proven track record. When you approach them, I guess this is not some idea, some silly idea. It's a proven concept that will work.
Absolutely. And not only works, because the way the system is designed, you create a spin-off for the local community.
Yeah.
You involve the accountants, the lawyers, you employ people, your development of real estate, companies move into the venue. We have certified over 50 AOCs already.
Yeah.
No other country has ever done that, offshore registry.
Yeah.
When you're talking 50 AOCs, it's a serious business,
That's
serious
that's what it is,
responsibility,
yes.
And not to mention the creation of airlines. In our registry, we created Qatar Airways. We were the original founders. When Qatar Airways was launched, the Emir of Qatar came to my office, and with his envoys, and they said, we want to create an airline. And their first 5 airlines were Aruba registered. They were Papa 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the
That
same thing
was
happened.
before I touched
Oh,
base with
that was
Aruba.
that was 1996.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And
I was
from
still in
then
school
on,
back then.
yeah, you're still in school. Yeah, exactly. And then Stefan, from that we created Erastana. which is the largest airline in Central Asia,
Yeah.
with the Kazakhstan Sovereign Wealth Fund and British Airspace. We created with three Boeing 737s, 700s in
Mhm.
2001. They were a client for 21 years
Yeah.
on their P4. The same thing, Southern Winds in Argentina, Aero Continente, Armavia Airlines. I can tell you a name of venture that we have ever launched and done. It's an endless list.
Mm.
So we're really, really proud that people really consider us
So
as a serious players in the business.
you have a heavy legacy. There's some things I didn't know, that you were so influential in launching so many airlines.
Yes.
I'm deeply impressed.
Yeah. We,
Even more. How can one person be so successful as you? What's the traits that you need to have?
it's very simple. When I left the Navy, my dad gave me only one lesson. And he told me, son, now you're going into your own business. Remember one thing: people does business with people they like.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you don't have the right personality, if you don't have the right attitude, if you are not transparent, if you are not honest, yeah, you may succeed, but it's
For a
not gonna
while.
for a while,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna last too long. You have to know exactly what you want to do and stick to it. I mean, let me tell you. I mean, I'm telling you only the good things that we have ever done, but it hasn't been easy.
Yeah, of
I
course.
can tell you we had a lot of challenges, especially creating Aruba. We went to Aruba. It was a tourist island, beautiful island, full of tourism, but almost none international aviation history.
Yeah.
No banking, not international lawyers. The same thing with San Marino. San Marino was a bigger challenge in the middle of Emilia Romagna in Italy,
Yeah.
an
It's a nice
independent
place, you
country.
know.
Beautiful place, charming, amazing, but no airport, just a small grass runway. Now, the community has embraced this project that English has become a trend.
Yeah.
The parliament is proud, the country is proud, the citizens are proud. So it's a
It
system that we bring into it.
it creates or it partakes quite a lot on the economy on the small islands.
Oh, absolutely.
I had recently a conversation with Stanley Bruguera
Yes.
from Malta, and he said in Malta they contribute a quarter of a billion to the economy of that
Yes,
small island. So
absolutely.
imagine the percentage that you're doing has on San Marino or Aruba is certainly higher.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you look at Malta, it's even though it's an island, but it's a bigger island
yeah.
with more people. You're talking San Marino, it's 35,000 citizens. Aruba is 100,000 citizens.
Yeah.
So the spin-off effects is becomes larger.
Yeah.
Also, you have to be wary of your reputation in country. You have to be neutral. We don't get involved into politics. We don't get involved into local affairs. We are basically a technical services company that we develop alternatives for the country.
Yeah.
And to a standard, Stefan, that not many other countries have achieved. Let me tell you an example. Aruba, 1995, it was downgraded by the FAA. My first promise, I will bring you into category one. So within 6 months, I fulfilled my promise. 1996, Aruba was FAA category one.
That was certainly
awarded.
a lot of overnights. Huh?
Absolutely. Until today. And on top of that, we signed an agreement with the US government up to the 7th freedom of the air that you can have Aruba registered airplanes on commercial basis based in the US and operating out of the US. And this is something, incredible.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
They don't give this away easy, let's say.
No,
so.
definitely not. Definitely not. And we did the same thing in San Marino. When we arrived, San Marino was downgraded by ICAO.
Mm.
It was in the,
there was nothing.
there was nothing. So there was not really rules, even though there was a civil aviation authority, but the rules were very old, not up to standards. So within a short period of time, okay, one thing that bring this success is we heavily invest in laws. We heavily invest in having the best premier regulations on civil aviation, because at the end of the day, the standard is what matters.
Yeah.
If you have a high standard, business will come. If you don't have a good standard, you don't have an alternative.
Yeah.
So the principal wants to know that if they entrust us with their expensive asset, their asset needs to be well taken care of.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
And
It's not a race to the bottom. You
no,
cannot
absolutely.
in our kind of business you cannot manage over the price. That's just ridiculous.
Absolutely. Nobody will come to you just because you have a funky or a beautiful aircraft registration. No, they'll come to you because you're good, because you're reputable,
Yeah.
because you have the standard and you have the track record. Like I say in San Marino, within 4 years, Stefan, from zero, we went to 94 world compliance by ICAO, which ICAO invited us to the General Assembly in 2016 because we launched San Marino in 2012.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
2016, we were in ICAO in September at General Assembly in Montreal, and we were awarded with the Presidential Consul Award of one of the highest countries with civil aviation highest standards.
Mm.
Uh, Now we're about 98%.
That's
Not bad for a small country, eh?
it's not bad. That is
Yeah,
pretty good. Yeah.
exactly. And on top of that, we passed the FAA Category 1 this year. We passed all the FAA audits. They awarded us just about 6 months ago, Category 1. So,
Perfect.
another
Yeah.
chip,
Yeah.
but this is reflects not on us, reflects on the team
Yeah.
because you cannot do it alone. You have to build a team, and at the end of the day, my glory is because what the team has achieved.
Yeah.
Alone you can never do it alone. Remember, in society, people function better in groups
Yeah.
than as a single individual. You have to have a micro vision. You can never be a micro manager. You have to be macro, but with a plan. Okay,
Totally agree.
and that's exactly what we do. We look at the big scope of things in the aviation. We see what the industry does, where the industry is going. We invest heavily on intelligence. If you see a lot of the other countries, because they are not private, they basically government run.
Mm.
They don't invest in aviation intelligence.
Yeah.
And we do. We talk to the manufacturers. We talk to the brokers. We're friendly with everybody. We do not compete with any broker. We do not compete with any OEM. They're our clients.
Yeah.
So we don't engage in aircraft trading, aircraft sales. No, we stick to our business.
And that's
But
why it's
we
successful.
develop the best product for them.
And when it's getting too easy because it's already too established, then you hop on to the next one.
Well, it's a transition. Normally, a registry matures, after 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, uh, one thing you need to understand is about capacity, because we sell a boutique appeal, and we sell service.
Yeah.
When you operate in small venues, uh, we do not want to lose the quality of our services that we provide to the end user. So we feel that a 10-year is a good transition to start looking for another good venue that will embrace our ideas and the way we do things.
Mm.
And that's why we've been heavily engaging with Gibraltar, because they have a great reputation. They have banking. They're accessible. They're European time zone.
I think the connection to the London banking system makes Gibraltar very,
Absolutely.
very
Yeah.
interesting.
And the lawyers. The lawyer, I mean,
It's UK law.
yeah, UK law, easy to operate, easy to do. That doesn't mean we don't have challenges. The challenge that,
They're different.
yeah, different challenges,
Yeah.
exactly.
How long did it take to convince Gibraltar that they need an aircraft registry?
We've been talking to the government for the past, I would say, almost 4 years. 4 years, and we signed the contract last year. Pandemic delayed us a bit,
Yeah.
like delayed everybody in many plans. But we signed last year, find the final agreement, and from then on we start working on qualifying. We have already passed the first bill into the parliament, which is the Civil Aviation Authority, the Civil Aviation Act,
Mm-hmm.
which we are making the Department of Civil Aviation autonomous. And from the department, it's becoming an authority. From that, we have a second bill in Parliament, which we hope it will be enacted by November this year,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Civil Aviation Authority Bill, which gives the powers to the authority to be fully independent
Mhm.
from any ministry.
So it's not a directorate of any.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're looking for the flexibility.
Yeah.
Just think about it. If we have a Department of Civil Aviation and we have to go back to the minister to sign every single paper, we will never get done.
Yeah.
So we need a director which is empowered, that he reports to the minister, but not on the operating basis.
Yeah.
So anything that is operating lower regulations is taken care of by the Civil Aviation Authority.
That's a learning you had from the past.
Yes, exactly. Lesson from the past. We did the same thing in San Marino. We're doing the same thing in Gibraltar, and it works fantastic. And we're a team.
Yeah.
We're together.
When you think back into your younger days, um, you said you were in the Navy. Did the Navy or what you learned there help creating the right mindset and right attitude if in business or for business?
Yes and no. The Navy gave me the opportunity to be disciplined, to be consistent in my business, to be precise. Uh, but from the part of business wise, I think it's genetics in a way. Uh, from my mother's side, my family is Greek,
Mm-hmm.
so Greeks are known to be very business oriented. So happened to be, I would say that I joined the Navy because of my family from my dad's side that were all in the military.
Mm-hmm.
But I choose the Navy, I think, because of genetics, basically, of the Greek heritage,
Yeah.
which is a strong possibility. So that did help me. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
the question that I'm asking myself, why did someone say, well, I'll bring you into aviation, even though you had no clue before, bring you into aviation? And obviously, it was a very capable mentor that you had.
Sure.
What was it that he saw that said, this guy, I'll develop this guy and make this out of it?
Sure. It's remember I told you that people does business with people they like.
Mm-hmm.
I basically was in the defense attaché office, and he came late to renew his wife's passport,
Mm-hmm.
and she was from the Honduran heritage, and there was no one to translate. So I translated for him, and I helped him out. And I think he saw in me honesty,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me, "Chief, I'll take care of you. I will teach aviation. Come and work for me."
Okay.
And I think what he saw in my eyes was that I was transparent. I have no interest on sending him away. No, I just wanted to be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he saw that on me. And I'm eternally thankful for him. His name is Wayne Hilmer. People from the old school knows him extremely well. His company used to be called OmniJet Trading Floors.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only person in this business that was trading airplanes like trading stocks in the old days. So I think he saw the good part of me.
So just that one act of being kind changed the trajectory of your life.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Until today, we're great friends. Um, we talk 3 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fantastic guy, full of energy. I mean, I hope you have the opportunity to meet him. You will understand why I think the world of him. He's
Mm-hmm.
just an amazing, special guy.
And he's in Florida.
He's in Orlando. Yes.
Okay. So whenever I make it to your office, hopefully there's a chance to meet him.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he
We'll go
sounds-
see him because his life story. If you think my life story is interesting, you gotta hear his life story. It is out of this world.
I'll take him out for dinner.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I will be a pleasure having you and introduce you to Wayne.
I'll take that. The next opportunity.
Sure.
I'll come to you again.
Fantastic.
And meet them.
Looking forward, my good friend.
Time flies with you.
I
We're
know.
talking already 25 minutes. Jorge, when you think, what's, I mean, honesty is obviously a trait that is very important.
Right.
What's the mindset? What's the things that someone needs to reach the echelons that you are now in?
Honestly, consistency. You need to be consistent. A lot of people now they want to make it to the fast track lane.
Mm.
That only works at the airport when you're trying to board a flight.
And not even then often.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you get a few delays. But to be honest, the fast track is good. You have instant gratification.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, we need to be patient, and you need to look at the big scope of things in life. You need to really have a plan. A plan is important. If you don't have a plan, and what I mean having a plan is the plan may not work, but you have to remember one thing. If you take your time and you know in life what you want to achieve, you will have setbacks, but you never go back. You go sideways.
Mm.
You go sideways, you move forward.
You
So,
start
which
again from
means you
experience.
adjust. You adjust your plan. But you have to sit down and you have to think about it
What do
and
you want?
stick to it.
Mhm.
You know, come back to loyalty. You have to be loyal with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. In order for you to be honest with your clients, with your friends, first you have to be honest with yourself and understand yourself exactly what you want to do in life and what you want to achieve. And to me, that's super important. I'm telling you. I've seen people that have made tremendous amount of money, but they still feel unhappy.
Yeah, I don't see
Yeah.
unhappiness in your eyes.
No, there's none. I can tell you, I'm thankful to life, and I am thankful to every single opportunity that I ever had. I have five amazing kids, an amazing wife, amazing team when it comes to Aruba, San Marino, and now the new team in Gibraltar. I mean, the fantastic group of people, not to mention friends like you, friends like Nuno, Alcinda, and many of our clients, Michel Coulomb, Antoine David, Mike Savery. I mean, those guys, with my friend Alessandro, he's a really famous singer here in Italy. So you just gotta be honest, point blank. There's no tricks to the magic.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I think I'll start with you because I think it's just an interesting thing also to especially when I'm talking to, or when I'm thinking about my son. What car is it that you drive?
Wow, that's a tough question.
Because you have more than one.
Yeah, I think so. My wife says I'm a little crazy with cars. You know, since I was a kid, my grandfather used to own dealerships
Hmm.
from my mom's side, and I always been attracted to cars, and I always wanted to have a nice car. So when I was like 18, 19, I started trading cars. So I have a little side business that I ordered cars ahead of time.
Hmm.
I use them for a while, and I trade them off. So even though I drive a lot of cars, to be honest, my favorite car, and we fight, and you're gonna call me ridiculous because I have every toy that can exist in my garage. I love the Smart.
The Smart.
Oh, I love. We had it in all colors. I had it in hot pink. Now I have it in blue. Now we have one in San Marino in gray. Just love the car.
Yeah, if you don't go over 100, it's okay.
We sometimes you go over 100. You get a little wind
It
effect.
gets scary.
It gets scary, but let me tell you, I enjoy it a lot. But I do have a lot of cars. I do have all the toys. Ferraris, blah blah blah, Rolls, everything. And I enjoy them.
You need something to.
Yeah, you need toys for the boys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We don't grow up. We just get older.
Exactly.
Jorge, thank you for being on the podcast. It
With
was a
pleasure.
pleasure as always. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And we see you on the next podcast. Probably not in Monaco, but in some other location.
Or in
Bye.
Miami.
Or in Miami.
Yeah.
I'll take the invitation.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Fantastic. Cheers.